I'm Heather Wark, a physicist, scouser and improv comic on a mission to make science fun for the masses. This is Science Focus, the show that explores issues like, why am I always late for work? Why can't I actually be addicted to my smartphone? And where did the Bermuda Triangle go? The anti-aging industry is worth a whopping £60 billion, and by 2030 is said to be worth almost double that. We've learned to pretend to celebrate older women, but we haven't learned to accept what happens naturally to our skin. So do the claims of products stack up? And is there true value in wanting to look younger? I want to find out. Welcome to Massive Stories About Tiny Things, the show where we explore the overlooked stories of everyday objects. Science applies to every aspect of our lives every day, and it's so upsetting that people find science to be this big, scary thing. It's just everywhere around us, from our shoes to our ceiling to our cars, all the things that you take for granted. That's science. The untold story of corn is fascinating. It's in absolutely everything, and yet we don't know where it came from. It was a tiny grass, now it's a massive corn bred by Native Americans, and it's a monoculture. So if one corn gets sick, we might lose corn forever. Now, one product skincare brands love to use is a penetration enhancer, which helps drive products deeper into the skin. My background in science is that I have a PhD in particle physics. I worked on one of the experiments at CERN's Large Hadron Collider, and since then I've been a science communicator, so I've communicated to children, to schools, and in museums all around the world. There are some wild claims about how so many food types are bad for you. Eating processed meats is as bad for you as smoking, drinking milk causes cancer, fish is toxic. So just how accurate are these claims, and what is the science behind them? It's so important to understand what we put onto our skin. For women in particular, who these products are really marketed towards, there's so little understanding of female healthcare and the kinds of chemicals that can mix in with your hormones, with pregnancy, with anything that's going on in your life and your body. It can have some real effects further down the line. So how much difference can one person make when it comes to recycling? If you take the 18 million tonnes figure above and divide it by the UK's 67 million inhabitants, it suggests that the average Brit currently saves around 269 kilograms of CO2 every year, simply by recycling your rubbish. I love improv comedy. It's always great to get in a room as an adult and kind of just have an excuse to play imaginary games with your friends. It's difficult to say how much truth there is in claims about how different foods can be bad for you. One very important thing to remember is that it's never healthy to completely remove a food group from your diet. And the other thing that's important to remember is that these statistics are based on risk. And so if there's a 1 in a million chance of something causing cancer in a person, then doubling that is still only a 2 in a million chance. So while the claim itself might be true, that there's a bit of correlation and causation, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's big enough for everybody to panic about until more research is conducted.